Hey guys, Tim and Dave here from the Single Malt Review, bringing you a suspiciously similar shaped bottle if you've been keeping up. What's this one, Dave?
Well, we've had a look at North Star before, new independent bottler, and today we have one of their newer offerings. This one is not an independent bottling, but is an independently blended malt.
Yeah.
So this is their in-house blend of other single malt whiskies, and I'm quite excited. This is Mach 2, so I believe their second expression, their second in-house blend.
It's sort of second in the series. They all seem to be available at the same time.
Cool.
This is the only one that found its way down to us, but experiences may vary further afield.
And a hefty 50% ABV, so I'm hoping for good things.
Yeah, I do not think you're going to be disappointed in the least. I think this is very close to a whiskey made for Dave in a very real way here. It is unchill filtered and uncoloured, so we should get at 50% a bit of a froth on there.
Head.
Nice, good bit of the creamer there. And this one's whole thing is sherry butts, matured exclusively in sherry butts. Oof. But as you see from the colour, it's not losing its mind over it. There's no Ablo Abuna happening here. This wood has been fairly well tuned.
And it has an age statement, doesn't it?
It does. It has a stealth age statement. It has a distillation date of 2013, and it was bottled last year, which puts it at 8 years old, which is that's well in the ballpark for mature whiskey these days.
An impressive colour for whiskey so young.
And it's an impressive cloudiness. It's not even, I mean, this isn't a freezing day, but even at 50%, that's not holding clear at all, so it's a whiskey with a whole lot going on in terms of the guts to it. So let's dig in.
Oh, that's good. That is a rich, heavily sherry nose. Lots of spice, ginger, cloves, allspice.
It really reminds me of the Glenrothes style of... Not saying that's what it is, and in fact it probably isn't, but that's what it speaks to me of. It's... of the sort of the sherry icons out there, of which there is only a few. Oh, here she is. Hello, Isla. I wondered if you're going to jump up. Good girl. It's that deep, dark, incredibly rich, Christmassy end, which Glenrothes really typifies. But who's in here, we really don't know. But I'll bet it's probably one of 2 or 3 distilleries. I don't think you would vat together too many more than that for a single run of only... how much did they get out of that one? Little more than 800 bottles, so not a huge run by any means. Now, if it hadn't said that it was sherry butts exclusively, I would have thought there's some PX in here, because it has that really sort of caramelly, not the chocolatey of port, but the caramelly, sort of honey, what am I thinking of? Sticky date pudding of PX, but no, apparently doing it just with the sherry. Yeah. So, full strength, let's have a look.
Oh, that is syrupy and rich and fiery.
It does fine. It's pretty fiery, because the aroma, that's pretty mature for 8 years old, but that 8 years comes back up in relevance once you're tasting that at full strength. It is a pretty fiery old brand.
There's a big hit of cinnamon on there, and a bit of chili heat.
But as that subsides, then cinnamon, super duper
golden
cinnamon.
syrup oat biscuits.
Very, very nice and spicy. A bit of fruit, but it's very sort of well stewed fruit at that point.
This is dominated by the sweetness and spices.
But spice first. This one, I think it should be a crime to drink this one without water, because it's as good as it is. It can take a huge quantity of water, and it does it very, very gracefully, and you just get doubled your whiskey, really, in my opinion.
Oh, that was a slightly bigger pour than I planned. But
I put in arguably too much water here, but it really, really does just drink it down and stretch it out.
Ooh, here comes the fruit. Yeah. Tinned pears, apple peel.
Yeah, red apple peel, red currants now. Less
it's
of
gone
that.
Extremely space-eyed.
And there's there's this maturity to the nose. Not so much on the palate. The palate's pretty bouncy, pretty youthful, as you'd expect from an 8 years old. The nose, they could be 20 years old on the nose. There's just something about the oak quality to it, which...
It's gone in that slightly dank tinned fruit direction of older Speyside whiskey, or especially when you've added a decent amount of water to a Speyside whiskey. I'm not a huge fan. I preferred this at full strength when it was very sweet and spicy.
Right. So you like the really oily, cakey sort of experience.
It's not so bad at all. It's brought out the fruit, which is great for those who like it. There's a little too much of that slightly dank, metallic tinned fruit for my liking.
I think where this one's going, it starts in that Glendronach kind of corner, but then once you've got that water in there, it kind of branches off on its own, and I'm not quite sure where it lands. It's much harder to kind of pick. There's even a bit of that metallic quality makes me think of Glenfarclas, and I've been fooled recently into misidentifying a Glenfarclas due to too much meta picking going on, but you were able to catch it, and that makes me suspicious that might be what's in here, in part at least. There's a real that metallic twang with the water, but I don't know, it's all speculation. But what is not speculation, and the reason why I was so keen to show this one off, is this one. I mean, that Ochroysk that we had, that was pretty stupendously cheap. This one is almost, I was flabbergasted by what this one was being sold for. I think this one was $80 New Zealand,
wow.
And that's insane. Like that's tantamount to a I don't know, a bottle of Fitty 12, kind of getting near it as whiskey prices, in addition to prices across the board, skyrocket up. But so this one is just being flipped off for just negligible amounts of money, and in the current economy, that's astonishing to see. So,
and at this higher strength, you get a lot more whiskey per drop.
So I think this is a tremendous example of what's effectively a budget whiskey, really.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not, considering what's in here, 8 years old or not.
All malt, all excellent, really.
This could be, maybe not twice the price, but I could see an extra 50% on this, and I wouldn't have been particularly surprised, bemused maybe, but not remotely staggered by that. So to put a score on all of that value, I think it's not quite. It's so close to the 90 zone, but I'll keep my powder dry on the 90s for today. But this is an 88 from me. It's really, really, really good stuff for a really, really. It escapes me. An analogy for a small amount of money. That's what this one is. What do you think?
Yeah, very similar thoughts for me. I rated 89. This is into the gold tier of whiskey. It is a superb blended malt. It's economical, easy to get. It typifies its style really well. It is oozing with the quintessence of that Speyside and Highland character. It is especially good at its full strength. But if you like the Glenfarclas character, then it is a phenomenal exemplar of that style. And you add some water too, so you get multiple whiskies in your one glass just by adding a little splash here and there.
Oh, and the main comparison here. This is for anyone that enjoys and finds themselves frequently picking up Glenfarclas 105, which I know has a huge following. Take a look at this one, because not only is this way cheaper, it's not quite as strong, but it works out in the price. I think this is even better. I think this is dollars to donuts, a better whiskey in its current incarnation. Being a batched one, that could all change tomorrow when it gets replaced. But for now, I think it's a real contender. So you strong sherry heads out there, I think owe it to yourselves to give this one a more than a look. Get your tongues around it. But anyway, you have been notified, so the rest is up to you. Slangia, we'll be back with something else.